I'm Tyler Grogg. I was a Staff Sergeant in the United States Marine Corps from 2004 to 2015. I was an explosive ordnance disposal technician, and VLI helped me upgrade my discharge. I was discharged with a general under honorable conditions for drug abuse, and it all came on really quickly after my hearing while I was waiting for the decision, and then I was basically just handed a, hey, pack your stuff, you have 10 days to exit. And I was freaked out. I had no idea what to do. I hadn't really told the bulk majority of my family. My mom knew. I had 2 combat deployments under my belt, one as a team member and one as a team leader. 2011 in Sangin, Afghanistan was a very rough deployment. Did not realize how much combat had changed me and affected me. My marriage was falling apart. We had tried for a child and that didn't work out. And my anxiety, my depression kept building and building, and then it eventually just kind of, there's only so long that you can contain it before it comes spilling out. One fateful night, and I just had a horrible panic attack. My chest was tight, and I remember thinking like, I'm gonna die. I didn't feel comfortable calling any of my colleagues. You know, it's that Marine Corps mentality, you know, we have to be tough, and you know, real men don't talk about their problems. So I elected to go into the medicine cabinet, and I took one of her Xanax.
I'm Tiffany Page Hernandez, and at my time at VLI, served as a summer law clerk. In Mr. Grogg's case, I assisted with him telling his own story and walking him through that process, as well as drafting the supporting papers for his discharge upgrade. The task of helping someone tell their story from beginning to end is monumental. So being able to walk with him through periods of his life, some of which were extremely difficult, and some of which he would have preferred not to walk through again, was a extremely rewarding experience to be able to walk hand in hand with him and support him. And that support can come in as little as just telling the client that you believe them, that you hear their story, and that their story matters.
My name is Andrew Alton. I'm a former Marine myself. I also have 2 deployments. After the military, I got out, came back home to Orange County, California, got my undergraduate degree in biology and my law degree from UC Irvine. At the time I got Mr. Grogg's case, I was a staff attorney. I was supervising a group of summer interns, teaching them discharge upgrades and working cases. Mr. Grogg's case in particular was one that it was very clear that the Marine Corps did not treat him right. Mr. Grogg had multiple combat deployments, a very thick service file of everything we expect a Marine to be, everything we expect a Marine leader to be. And yet despite that, he made one mistake. Mr. Grogg suffered from traumatic brain injuries and post-traumatic stress disorder due to the combat situations that he excelled in, and as a result suffered from panic attacks, which is very common among combat veterans. He took a Xanax from his wife's prescription to terminate a panic attack, and simply due to that was robbed of that honorable characterization of service for his clearly honorable service.
I came home and I see this letter, and it had Office of the Secretary of the Navy on it, and it's like, hey, we agree with you. We're gonna give you an honorable. And I'm like, holy, what? Like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And it was just, I didn't have a huge outburst like that. I kind of kept it to myself, and then I just quietly handed the paperwork to my wife. She looks up and she started getting a little teary-eyed, and she's just like, oh my God, congratulations. And I'm gonna get teary-eyed talking about it. It felt validated. I felt like, okay, I'm not crazy. So then to finally have them, in reading through the paperwork, say, hey, you know what, we were wrong. Like, we understand your anxiety, we understand your PTSD, like, we understand that we might not have handled this situation the best, just was this overwhelming sense of validation. So it was phenomenal. So my message to VLI would simply be, hey, thanks, your work does matter and it is appreciated. I can almost guarantee that you are saving lives. Again, being somebody who was to the point of being a statistic and being one of those 22 a day, how many lawyers really get to say like, oh yeah, my work has literally stopped somebody from jumping off the edge?
to see a case from start to finish and actually see the impact that it has on someone's life. Mr. Grogg's not only getting the recognition that he deserves for, for what he went through, for what he did for this country, but he also gets all of those benefits back that he worked very hard for, and he most certainly deserves.